We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist. And it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Twingate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen.
They'll be calling you a radical. Time for everybody to crawl out of their dogma snuggies. Especially there in California, Oregon, Washington, Vancouver, Canada. Especially San Francisco. I know you're all laying there. You're all comfortably numb. Oh, I'm comfortable. Look at my real estate value, honey. Honey, remember we paid $200,000 for this house in 1980? It's worth $3.2. I hope it gets worth $1 billion someday. Let's go refi it for the 68th time. Ooh, you think the Fed will keep the interest rate at zero forever? That's a stimulus, honey. Yeah, that's the only stimulus you formed have freaking got in San Francisco. Comfortably numb. A lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. It's Blue Hearts on Valentine's Day. I'm headed to Via Pier in the Central Valley, Diablo Canyon. I'm leaving Thursday. Get there Thursday afternoon. We're going to set up on the pier for Valentine's Day. Now, I need one of you activists out there. Huntington Beach, one of you guys, a bunch of you are there. I need some help. Now, what I'm going to do, here's the plan. Early in the morning, we're going to go down onto the pier. I need either a roulette wheel or one of those big spin wheels you see at the carnival. I mean, I'm sure you can rent them. I've called down there. There's places that said we can rent one. You can get one over there on the pier, and we'll cut out signs that just have different names of different nuclear reactors in the United States. Of course, we'll have our shirts on that say Chernobyl, Fukushima, who's next. It's important we do that there. And you can spin the wheel. Everybody gets a turn spinning the wheel as nuclearism, American roulette. The game that some can win and everyone can lose, which we all lost on 3/11/11. As Barry Antoinette came right out himself, said, let them eat yellow cake, as the entire nuclear cartel. This is the dynamic that breaks across cultural lines, left, right, up, down, rich, poor. This is the Titanic. The great Guggenheim himself went down with the Titanic. Some of the stowaways to the richest man on earth. That's this. That's nuclearism. The game. Oh, we have a loser. Everybody's a loser in this game. Everybody. Nobody wins anymore. Post 3/11/11. Post 4/26/86. You don't even realize it because you're in your dogma snuggie. Your dogma snuggie is literally killing me. It's killing you. It's killing all of us. You can't have a conversation about things that work. I got an argument with, one of the dumbest professors in history yesterday at our university. And I'm like, you realize we went from the #1 school when I taught here Said, we didn't even make the top 10 because you're a moron. He's trying to tell me, now get this, you people in California can relate all over the country as you've refinanced your house 1,000 times, is our entire economy is completely 100% hinged to real estate values. 100%. The asset class, that's why we fear deflation, because it destroys the asset class. Well, the non-asset class, the depression of the 1930s, all pricing, everything, lost 90%. Is that bad? No, that's good. That's good if you're the non-asset class, because the dollar gets so powerful and gets so strong. Think about it. Everything you buy goes down 70, 80, 90%. Oh, think about how much strong your freaking money has if you have any. But the asset class gets crushed. But in those days, it was only a small amount were the asset class. 11% of people in 1980 played the market. They knew it was gambling. Big players. CEOs paying themselves hundreds of millions would have never happened in those days. Never happened. And I'll tell you why it never happened. In the Constitution, it's written that corporations and these companies must have shareholder meetings. By proxy. You're loving by proxy. You're living by proxy. And your proxy means shit anymore because you don't even know how to read your statement. The 401k was born in the 1980s. Ooh, yay. We can manage our own retirement. Ooh, we don't have pensions anymore. So instead of 11% by 2000, we have 90% of people are in the market by default. You CEOs know this. They know that the diversion of stockholders is so broad. Instead of having 10 big shareholders, you have hundreds of thousands of little teeny shareholders. They can't even read their statement. They window dress, and you don't show up to a shareholder. You don't even know what a shareholder meeting is. They know that. They know they can't be voted out. So all the money is filtered to the corporate board. To be on a corporate board, you want to talk about looting of America, the greatest looting. Well, how did we allow that? Ross Perot said it the best. I wish I'd have been more in tune with Ross Perot. I was a finance student there. I was on Wall Street at the time, and I listened to a lot he said. And by the way, I did not, I called myself a progressive for years, but I did not vote for Clinton. I didn't vote for Bush. Are you kidding? Oh, no. Ross Perot, which party, red or blue, is the party of terror? Which one supports the working class? Now tell me, which one? We signed NAFTA, and we go to what you guys call the New World Order. There's nothing new about it, the old world order, feudalism. You'll hear a giant whoosh. Oh, we heard a whoosh. There's been two things that are gigantic failures in our baby boomer, ignorant, dogma, snuggy worlds that all of you live in and all of us participate in. Two major, major failures. What's that old saying? To continue doing the same thing and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. Science fiction economics, yeah, that's my term. Nuclearism. That's it. That's the two giant failures. Until we understand and realize what giant failures they've been and how many people they are killing. They're both killing. It is usury. Are we the most immoral people in the history of humanity? I think so. And all of humanity. Yeah. Because we all participated in slavery. I mean, goes all the way back, long before Jesus, long before way, way back. This is the quintessential fight between slavery and non-slavery. You all believe in slavery. And I can prove that every single one of you believe it. You'll say you don't. Right down to the grandsons of antebellum South slaves running down the NFL field with hair extensions from executed Chinese prisoners. Walmart. Save money, better living. That's the biggest lie in human history. Yeah, the Walton family, and I don't mean John Boy. Pure evil. But you allowed the pure evil because here's the facts. of the matter. The facts of the matter, American populace still supports nuclearism, and when they know nothing about nuclearism. The American populace still supports the fact that people who whistleblow and tell the truth should be incarcerated, Megan Rice. The American public still believes, fact, that global trade is a success. You save $2,300 a year on your Walmart bill when you lose $80,000 a year at your job. You believe in slavery. Every one of you believe in slavery. Now, is that bad or good? I don't know. It's the age-old economic argument. Just like the age-old economic argument has been tariffs. Low interest rate, this moron professor tried to tell me that that's how you stimulate the economy. I says, maybe in a temporary way. Now let's think about the Reagan recession. What did the Volcker Fed do? Raised interest rates. I'll never forget this. This is when I knew CNN was completely gone, and academia has been hijacked and gone. David Gergen, we're talking the dean at Harvard. We're talking the chair. Probably makes $500,000 a year at Harvard. He says at the midterm, the Obama midterm, they had a board sitting there of, 10 monkey fucks. I was grinning and sounding like they're fucking experts when they're dumber than fucking dirt, everyone, including fucking Gergen. What a fraud. David Gergen. Well, King, and not Justin, John. Justin King's a great writer. Reagan was not dealing with this unemployment at the midterm like Reagan was. When the unemployment rate was to the decimal, identically at the Reagan midterm and the Obama midterm. Now, things led up and destroyed it. The fake phony war that you all participated with the yellow sticker on, because you're baby boomers. We want wars we don't want to pay for. We want nuclear free energy too cheap to meter, but we don't give a fuck where we put the waste. Just store it in somebody else's backyard when there is no answer for the waste. Giant failures, because you can't have a conversation about tariffs. You can't have a conversation about enforcing antitrust laws. You can't have a conversation about usury. Yet you claim you're Christian and you're religious. When usury is a pillar of Christianity, well, all religions across all faiths, usury is a pillar, the pillar. You don't even know what it is. This country had usury laws. Every state. What's a usury law? The maximum interest rate you can charge. 5, 6, 7% above prime. Prime's less than 1%. The falsely stimulated interest rate to the downside. Alan Greenspan, the greatest terrorist who ever walked. We've been laying there fighting this game now for 14 years. I was on Wall Street when the CPI and the PPI. I was very, very good at forecasting. I never missed it, ever. I could forecast the interest move before they ever made it incredible. That's what Wall Street does. That's what I did. We have to read the tea leaves. We hypothesized for it. I never missed one, ever. My boss says, you are unbelievable at this. And I says, well, I can see, because I step back and I look at the data. You can see it, you can feel it, you can know it. All of a sudden, Greenspan in 2000 starts slashing the rate when we're starting to smell inflation, when it should have been raising. I'm like, what is he doing? What is he doing? That was the spring of 2000. That's when the markets capitulated. That's when the dollar was 75 cents against the euro. That's when the dollar was, $1.45 against the Canadian dollar? You could draw a line at the thrashing of the dollar and the Fed. Now, Bernanke's fault? No. Damage done. The only tool the Fed has is lower interest rate. They used all that. What do you think QE1, QE2, QE3, QE4? So what happens when you lower the rate? In theory, inflation. So we had massive inflation, 2003, 4, 5, 6. That's when the giant inflation happened. The dollar went from 80 cents a euro to $1.60 from 2003 to 2006. Drilled back into it off. There it just lies. There it lies, bloody and beaten and fucking down. Our unemployment rate is a lie and a twist. The economy will never, ever recover. Can't recover. Impossible to recover. When you have a billion workforce in Asia, slaves, because you participate. Oh, God, a tariff? Okay, you think about this. We put a 25% tariff on any exploited slave good coming to the United States, including your iPhone. Steam Chinese jobs. Not only would that put our jobs back here, just like it did in 1770 or 89, paid off the debt from the Revolutionary War. Just like it did in the late 60s, paid off the Civil War, paid for Reconstruction. Just like it did after World War II. Did you realize the tax rate after World War II on the wealthy was 92%? 92%. These guys are bitching about 31%. If he went to them and says, okay, fuckers, you don't want to pay for this war? Well, let's watch this country be devastated. Watch your dollar be devastated. Either you freaking pay it off through your tax. They knew that we came that close. So they agreed to do it. But you don't see. You participate in your own dogma and your snuggie. Oh, nuclear is good, isn't it? It's the replacement for dirty coal. Well, dirty coal is dirty, filthy, freaking stinking coal. Going to be cleaned up, of course. But it's not the answer. Solar's the answer. Guy told me, oh, batteries from solar. Really? Really? That's how dogma, the old, people want to have conversations in 1996, 2002. Solar farms right now are directly to the grid, from the sun to the grid. So what if there's only clouds? Really? Really? Has any of you ever spent any time in Arizona or in southern Utah here where I live? Any of you ever been here in the Great Basin in the desert where I live? Clouds? They're so rare. We don't get clouds. We have 300 sunlight days a year right here in Utah. Southern Utah, probably 320, 330. Doesn't happen. From the sun to the grid. Oh, we need a new grid. No, we have a grid. Tied in. We don't even use nuclear power. We don't use it. So when we go to Diablo Canyon, we're going to set up that wheel with all these reactors. Diablo Canyon is the most dangerous in the world, besides Fukushima Daiichi, which is in quadruple meltdown. Really, there's 6 meltdowns over there. As everybody, all these signs, oh, we're going to test the kelp. Cal Berkeley, San Diego State, La Jolla, we're going to test the kelp. I'm down there this summer for the USS Reagan. I like how that's a new story to you morons. And Alex Jones and all these idiots are reporting that it's snow. Chink from the Young Turks shitting themselves snow. It's fucking foam, you dumb fuckers. It's foam. It was foam. It's a scrub down. By the way, when they decommissioned it and parked it off in Washington, they still did tours while they were scrubbing it down. By the way, they had a Little League football camp on it. I'm in San Diego at the hearings with the transcript this summer when they were going. I'm there the whole time. We set up on the pier at Huntington Beach. I did. I should say we. I. That's how it's been in this fight. We have a small army that participates, but not many. People say, oh, yeah, I'm in this to win it. Yeah, and I keyboard activism is important. Very important. You know, it's done a lot of good. Knowledge is information, but until we come out of our dogma snuggies and get to work on this and start to support us radicals, it's not going to change. Everybody says, Kevin, when's it going to change? When all the baby boomers are dead, which is going to happen quicker than you think because of the cancer pandemic. That's not my words. That's the World Health Organization. As they're posturing and grooming you. So here's the scientists. We're going to test the kelp now. Really? Really? 3 fucking years later? So here's where the wealth is being accumulated in the United States. The real unemployment in the United States rate is right around 30%. That's a fact. I can prove it. I can prove that they'll tell you the median income is $40,000 when it's less than $20,000. We have the illegal immigration problem is more than the illegal immigration problem. It's not the illegal immigrant and the working class. It's the legal immigrant. It's the fact that people can, because they believe in slavery, and they believe, people will willingly pay people cash under the table in restaurants, in construction, in all these trades, which, by the way, is illegal. But we don't enforce those laws. White-collar crime is legal. We don't enforce it. So people do it because you all believe in usury. Is that bad? I don't know. I don't. I just happen to think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. Now, am I wrong or right? I don't know. I don't know. But from a morality issue, from an economic issue, it's always failed. Economically, it has always failed. Well, we had the Revolutionary War. This has been a quintessential fight among economists from day one. You go back. Milton Friedman, he believes in slavery and usury. Does slavery and usury benefit in an economic? Yes, it benefits a very small group of people, just like it's done. Just exactly, it's played out like it's always played out. Oh, we had a Revolutionary War. Oh, we had a revolution in Russia. Oh, we had a revolution in France. Marie Antoinette, let them eat yellow cake. Oh, that revolution started by 7 people, maybe 6 people, and one of them was what, 10 years old, 8 years old? The American Revolution started by how many people sitting around bar? Sam Adams, dress up like Indians, throw the freaking tea over the bowl? Anglo-Saxons lived in America for 150 years. Why then? Usury. They didn't believe in it. Now, Hamilton and Jefferson in debate. Now, which one had slaves? Which one had slaves? Which one was sleeping with his slave? Which one had huge inherited wealth? Which one drank freaking 2 gallons of wine a day? Which one blew, by today's standards, several $1 billion? They were both brilliant geniuses, but which one did not believe in usury? Did not believe in slavery? Oh, Hamilton, the orphan boy, that little orphan boy in the Caribbean, who watched the slave trade, who did the books for the slave traders as an 11, 12-year-old boy. George Washington's pseudo de facto son, who was too honest. The country was incepted. Oh, Hamilton had 8 employees. The President of the United States had 2. Who were the 8 employees? Oh, the Coast Guard. What did the Coast Guard do? They blocked cheap, exploited Chinese slave goods from coming to the United States. They made them pay a tariff. The Exchange Building still sits there in Lower Manhattan, right there. Which I think is so ironic that Herman Melville, when he wrote Moby Dick and everybody turned their back on him, told him it was a piece of filth, didn't like it, blah, blah, the aristocracy, the greatest novel ever written. The end of his life, right there. He was a night watchman right there. That's where he died. These circles all come back and tie together. Humans are no different now than they were 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Technology change? Absolutely. Splitting the atom? Absolutely. Big time. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Can it be fixed? Nope. Can it be stopped? Oh, yes. It has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. You got Hanford up there, leaking into the aquifer. You got Energy Solutions, the dump site out here where they parked the San Onofre generator illegally, lit up like a Christmas tree. You got their site in South Carolina leaking into the aquifer dramatically. You got Hanford leaking into the aquifer dramatically. You got Harris in North Carolina who caught on fire. You got Cahoon who flooded by the floods of the Mississippi River that had a freaking leak. You got Carlsbad where the pilot cavern, because we won't build Yucca Mountain, or we did build Yucca, we don't want it in there, catches fire. Oh, it's a salt truck. We go on and on and on. We got San Onofre, which I was one of the leads on getting San Onofre shut down. I said they will never reopen. No one listened to a word I said. That was a year ago today. That hearing was a year ago tomorrow that I was at. Like, they followed me around. Ask Joni Ray, ask any of the witnesses. I flew down there in critical condition. I organized through my YouTube site. We packed that meeting like no other. Joni Ray and I went over to the site. I said, look up in the parking lot. Look up. She says, what are those on the light bulb? I said, they're solar panels. Even they don't believe in their fucking own lies. They bust in 7 busloads of fake union workers. I'm an ex-union guy. I'm a union plaster for 35 years. I said, you guys ain't union guys working here. They fed them, whatever. I said, be careful. I go in there, they'll probably end up beating me to death. She snuck in there with a camera, and we stayed up all night that night and put that out so the media could get their hands on it, exposed it. They bust in 7 busloads of freaking fake things, but we had more than they had. Their army tried to counter our army. Oh no. And we educated those workers that they didn't know what they were doing. Most of them didn't even speak English. We told them, hey, we woke them up. We caught the NRC so off guard. They wouldn't even let me speak. Here I stood in there. I was scheduled to speak. Gene Stone, Kathy Iwan, who's trapped in Japan. The only report she was getting was from me on my YouTube site. She come home, she was pivotal. And I'll tell you why she was so pivotal in the closing of San Onofre at the local level, because she's a school teacher. And one thing that San Diego County got right, San Diego County on the San Onofre in the early days, they let them, but the school board had a vote. And they voted. And they voted to shut the fucker down. I was in critical condition in the bone marrow transplant at LDS, and whistleblowers were sending me information to my YouTube site. And credit, you wouldn't believe the emails I was getting in those days. Hundreds and hundreds from Japan. I mean, here I'm critical. I'm so sick in there that I can't even watch TV. I'm in the depth of chemo hell. I'm getting these whistleblowers from inside San Onofre sending me stuff. Hey, they're lying on this exchange of this generator. This is in January of 2012. We start to expose, we start to go to the media down there. I do. I start sending emails to local media down there too. Gene Stone started working hard. Kathy I went hard. So many people down there. They got to work. Mila Reason went after him. Patty Davis went after him. You know, I knew that we had a chance. I showed up down at that hearing, blind, didn't know a person. Johnny Ray picked me up at the airport. We went over there. People come up, oh my God, Kevin, I love your work. Can I have my picture with you? You know, we organized. The NRC followed me everywhere I went. They said, we'll let every single person talk and speak. Stood there for an hour. As soon as the Q&A, they kicked me out. Then put me back in, put me down in this little row. There's two young females. They raised their hand. They went to them, hey, we want to defer to Kevin Blanch. Nope. They wouldn't let me speak. That's all right, because everyone spoke for me. Because my YouTube site, they knew what I thought. They knew what I said, so they said what I would say. We went to Barbara Boxer's office in an intense way. We called her in a big campaign. We educated her family lives near Diablo Canyon. We woke them up. We woke us. I went to the Million Masked Man March in Washington, D.C., and I gave a speech in front of the White House. I led that entire march. And I awoke a sleeping giant. Anonymous had no clue about nuclearism. None. Zero. You can hear him catcalling there. When I said Fukushima's for, you're going to talk about alien. That's what they thought. Until I awoke then. Then they went home and they Googled and they're like, oh my God, I awoke a sleeping giant. That's the power of this YouTube camera. From my mouth to their ear, to the keyboard, to Google. And they're like, oh my God. Knowledge is power. But it's not, as I always say, it's not the painting of the soup can. It's the idea to paint the soup can. But then you got to paint the fucking soup can. That's what I'm doing. In the last year, I've gotten strong enough and healthy enough, maybe not even strong enough and healthy enough, but I fucking just did it anyway. When I was in San Onofre, I was in very, very critical condition. On the 2-year anniversary, when I'm in G&G, Oregon, you know, we're setting up, and just the thing just bumped me in the arm, and I just bled like Craig and Lonnie Clark. Oh, my God. I said, yeah, I'm in critical condition. Don't you know? Don't you see what you're doing to me? We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you. I love life. I don't want to die. My group, so many got cancer post-Fukushima. I'm in the bone marrow transplant at LDS. Miracle. I've been watching some of my old videos, walking through it, and I'm like, oh, my God. I'm doing these finance videos, and the Fukushima's in detail, and then you can type them in, September of 2011. Then all of a sudden, boom, October, there's Kevin sick. He's telling the world, hey, he's got cancer. They misdiagnosed. They couldn't figure it out. And then you can watch 11/11/11. I go in there. Oh, my God. I watch it. It's startling. My body mass in 3 weeks. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, that picture with my little grandson, I'm balled up, shriveled up to 130 pounds. That happened in weeks from my healthy physical body. Our whole group, so many people post-Fukushima got AML leukemia. I love these assholes. Oh, there's a cure for all these kinds of cannabis. Oh, really? AML? When the doctor tells you acute, you tell him, hey, I got some weed. You'll spit water against a drone. Motion out, it kills you so fast. Our group, they were all physically fit. They were all strong. Judy, Carla, Tracy, Paul, Dana, Karen, over and over and over. They're all dead now. They're all past. I became very intimate with all of them because I'm in the bone marrow transplant. You develop a relationship between people like that, a brotherhood, a sisterhood, a family that is so in-depth and so intimate that you can't even relate to it. Their own spouses can't understand what we understand. That's why the doctors don't even like to tell you when they pass, because they know you're that intimate with them, and they know it breaks your heart, which it does. That's what it does. That's what nuclearism is, and it's killing. You know, here we got the mammals in the Pacific Ocean dying. The sea lions, they gather up right there. They gather up the sea lions. They're all dead. You see any backup data? Fucking scientists going to test the kill. Fuck them. So here's where economically it falls into. Exxon in Chicago comes out. They're the biggest nuclear player in the country. They're the big dog. When I was a derivative trader and I was on Wall Street, what we have to do, and I was very good at it, is read between the lines. You have to read the tea leaves because we have to make moves before they happen. That's how you make wealth. That's how it's done. That's what I did. I was very good at it. I read that statement, talked about read the tea leaves, because they have to posture to their shareholders. They have to posture to the masses. They slowly leak out, just like they did the nuclear lie. They have to slowly leak it out to you. So it becomes the new norm. So their stock doesn't collapse. So their real estate market doesn't collapse. So their tourism economy doesn't collapse. That's all it is in California. You fuck think them Californians give a fuck about their own family, about anybody, about the death of the fucking dolphins, about the sea lions, the death of the starfish, the sardines, the two garfish. Oh, this is a once in fucking 100-year event. Then 5 days later, another one shows up. The death of the juvenile squid. Oh, let's Photoshop one and put it on the front fucking page of the LA Times. Propaganda. By the way, everyone needs to know this. Eric Lax and Peter Gale, the PR machine for the nuclear cartel, are best friends with that fucking molester. That fucking baby raping molester. Yeah, Woody Allen. Yeah, that's who they are. That generator that always shows up in the LA Times, that green, pretty fucking drawing with the butterflies and the birds flying up, they post over on, yeah, that's Eric Lax and Peter Gale. West 10, top of UCLA, the medical center. Well, I've been in East 8. He's a no-good motherfucker. They're creepy fucking henchmen. They are the SS. They are the SS. All these people, the bananas guy, you know, all these vlogs are the SS. I've kept a list. I have a list of every single one of these people. Every one. To think that quadruple meltdown into the Pacific Ocean, gamma rays, Hulk. Come on, Hulk. Gamma rays. Reaching into the Pacific Ocean for 1,068 days. Oh, there's no byproduct of that. Oh, it's a big bathtub. Oh, the kelp, you know, and fucking liars. Fish swim. That's why I go through my rant, stay on tuning. They caught a fish a year and a half ago over there with 16,000 times safe limits. Fish swim. Eat that fish, you're going to die. I will guarantee you, you're going to die. You don't know where the fish is coming from. Right after Fukushima happened, the first lunatic, teabagger revolt, fucking lunatic, AstroTurf, Koch brothers whacked out, freaking get a gun, buy some gold, freaking cut welfare when we're spending trillions of dollars in the nuclear theater. The debate's going on. 10 days after the freaking 3/11/11. They need a sacrificial lamb. They cut $10 million. I mean, think about $10 million on a multi-trillion-dollar budget. $10 million. Sacrificial lamb out of the food inspection chain. When it should have been, you don't know where the fish is. They'll say, oh, wild caught in Alaska. You don't know that because there's nobody watching the store. They do what they want. So how do you eat fish? Any fish. I mean, that fish showed up the other day with 3 eyeballs on it. You know, makes you want to run right over to Wendy's and get you a fish burger, don't it? You don't know. The fish swim through some hot particles of Pu-239, Pu-40, strontium-90, which we know factually causes leukemia. We know for factually it kills you. Dead. We know that from the 40,000 atomic veterans in the desert, which my father was one of them. The game of nuclearism, the roulette wheel, will set up on the pier. Diablo Canyon, San Onofre, Hanford, Homestead, Oyster Creek, Pilgrim. Oh, yeah, we're going to show up and protest at Pilgrim. They're in trouble. Yankee. Oh, yeah, we got Yankee shut down. Over and over and over. They're all over. Look at the map. They're old, they're tired, they're worn out. You think about this. Not even the fact of the matter that the waste, there's no answer for the waste. There is no answer for the waste. None. Zero. It's everywhere. Not even the fact that meltdowns do happen. Are we still there, Dan? My phone's bleeding.
Yeah, you're here.
All right. Not even the fact that there's no source for the waste. The fact of a meltdown. They told us when this fight was going on, I was heavily involved. I knew Edward Abbey personally. I knew Walt Stegner personally. I knew Richard Miller under the cloud personally. This fight was intense, and it was happening here in Utah. It was intense. They told us. They guaranteed us by law. There was no possible chance of a meltdown. It couldn't happen. Won't happen. It's impossible. You guys are just all crazy. Let's see. April 26th, 1986, Chernobyl. What a cover-up. Oh, you thought it was the greatest cover-up in human history until Fukushima. And that's what kills me about Fukushima 3/11/11. We have social media. We have YouTube. And you were told. And you know, I'll tell you how I can prove that people do know, yet they're just in denial. Fish consumption out of the Pacific Ocean in the last 48 months has declined almost half. They know. But they're in their dogma snuggies. They divide up. Because they're all about bitching and freaking how it fits. They're not about solutions and answers. It's like people say, oh, you can't put it in Yucca Mountain. You can't shoot it into space. Oh, really? Then what the fuck do we do? Because it's like, oh, tariffs, that's protectionist. You look at the trade imbalance in this country, how grotesquely and dramatic since we signed NAFTA, Bill Walmart Clinton in 1994. Look at it. Look it up. You think, oh, what we're doing now, 40 hours a week, you start that, we're working 65, 2 people? The equation, how many people, can we just continue to serve each other coffee and serve each other pizza? There's not enough to fill the void. The unemployment rate is 30% in this country. And if you come out of the unemployment, you're going to go to the underemployed and you're worse off. You're worse off underemployed than fucking being fucking homeless. I proved that in my PhD. Who are getting fat from all this? Marine biologist departments, universities, look, I'll tell you why. Our university, our dean, our provost, our thing, I look at what they're making now. I mean, they just give themselves away, and I'll tell you why. Because the youth of America have no opportunities. Zero. Zilch. Nada. There's no fucking jobs. I mean, you really want to go fucking serve coffee or fucking serve fucking food to somebody your whole fucking life? Are you kidding me? So they go to college. So college has swollen. They've got huge. Those dollars flow into those coffers. And, oh, are they spending it? That's the only people that are benefiting it. Oh, are they spending it? Some government employees, a lot of government. The boomtown of America and the boomtown of economy, of course, Manhattan, New York City, which is nothing more than the giant shopping mall for Europeans because of the weak dollar, just like Europe was for us. We went to Milan for Christmas. We went to Paris. We went because our dollar was so strong for so long post World War II. Now it's the opposite. They come here. 53 million tourists in New York City last year. Boom economy. Washington, D.C., the paid, the dragons. I've been there. I've seen it firsthand. The median income in those 3 county region has doubled. It's almost over 100,000. They all work for the military industrialized complex. Nuclearism. These your tax are because you're afraid of the boogeyman. Ooh, they're going to get some Iranians got a freaking nuclear. No, they don't. They know they fucking don't. They ain't got no nuclear program. That's all bullshit. It's the shiny ball. Ooh, when we have the nuclear cartel here. Megan Rife will be sentenced on the 18th, from what we hear. I got an email this morning. There's rumors, it's just rumors, that there's being a deal struck right now, and they're hashing it out, and they're really going after it today. I got a rumor there's going to be some breaking news today. I hope. I don't believe it. Like her niece said, yeah, the real powers that be will get involved when pigs fly. 84-year-old nun. Her and Greg and Michael broke into Y-12 where they make nuclear weapons illegally. Oak Ridge, Tennessee is breaking the law every day. We signed a non-proliferation contract to get rid of all nuclear in good faith, which we've done the opposite. We're breaking law, but isn't that what America does? I mean, we waterboard people against the Geneva Conventions. We waterboard people against our own. I mean, we break international law all day, every day. We don't care. We drone strike and kill people just for the fact because we want to. Kids. I always go back to when they got Saddam's freaking two sons, Hootie and Fucky and Wappy or whatever the fuck their name was. You know, they had kids. You do know they fucking killed their children, too. They killed the man, woman, and child. They genocide. Not to mention, then fucking Dick Cheney, the greatest fucking evil terrorist in fucking human history, flies over fucking white phosphorus and sprays our own Marines. They're coming home with leukemia. Depleted uranium. Oh, where does that come from? What is that? What is depleted uranium? It's in our bullets. It's in our bombs. It's everything. Because it's their answer to nuclear waste. Oh, just fucking use it on to that biblical place where the Euphrates and the Tigris meet. That ancient, beautiful, spectacular biblical. Let's freaking contaminate it and kill and birth defect it and murder for hundreds of thousands of years. Let's destroy the fucking earth. Because you all participate, because you're in your fucking dogma snuggie. Oh, we can have a conversation about tariffs. Oh, nuclear, that's the replacement for dirty coal. When you don't even know what you're talking about. You're ignorant, and we spread it. You know, it's lazy, it's arrogance, beyond generational arrogance. It's usury. You know, we go to Walmart, you know, we shop and buy this stuff made in Bangladesh. Shirtwaist Fire 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5, over and over and over. Type in the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire of March 25th, 1911. That's what I was pushing post-ignorance towards. I was in Manhattan, at Washington Square, the whole winter of 2010, organizing what turned out to be the Occupy movement. That was me in a small group there called Post-Ignorance. We were pointed for the 100th anniversary of the Shirtwaist Fire. It happened right there. Oh, who taught right there in that building? Megan Rice's dad. Oh, Dr. Rice is Mary Evelyn Tucker, her cousin, the famous professor. Ecological Studies, Yale. She hugged me outside that courtroom. She sat inside that courtroom. Powerful. Oh, did she rock that judge's world. Oh, did she let that prosecutor. She's a tall, I mean, her impeccable knowledge oozes from that woman. She got on the stand. Theodore, the prosecutor, that little woman, he called, get this, what was the word he used for Megan Rice? It slips my mind right now, but it's disingenuous. Disingenuous, he used. Disingenuous. She got up there and she says, I was really taken back when he used that word. Disingenuous? She's the most genuine, real person ever. Talked about it. So she goes right to Gandhi. She goes right to Mandela. She goes right to Martin Luther King, which, by the way, 1959, Martin Luther came out. Martin Luther was hardcore anti-nuclear. Hardcore. He knew. Dorothy Day. That's who raised Megan. Dorothy Day. Catholic workers' rights. What's that great quote? We need a revolution of the heart, and it all starts with you, Dorothy Day. She says, the great giant lineage of Gandhi, of Martin Luther King, of Mandela, Megan Rice is that lineage. She lives it. Oh boy. She tried to make a citizen's arrest, which we need to make all citizen arrests on Oak Ridge, the nuclear cartel, Y-12, General Electric's board of directors, Westinghouse's board of directors. They're fucking criminals. They're breaking the law. She went in there and tried to freaking call attention and make a citizen's arrest. It had to be done. They're breaking the law, not her, not to mention Blackwater guarding it, spending billions of fucking dollars. When I talked to multiple people from Oak Ridge, said it was one of the most heavy, which it should be. What's in there? Are you kidding me? One of the most heavily secured places probably in the world, which it was. We dereg that and turned it over. Privatized everything. What happens when you privatize everything? The greatest army, it's feudalism, the return of King George, 1774. The biggest army wins. You don't have roads, you don't have police forces, you don't have nothing. You privatize everything. The biggest army wins, takes it out. So who's got control? The military-industrialized complex? Oh, yeah. The nuclear cartel? Oh, yeah. Because we don't fight back in an intelligent way. We knee-jerk. We get caught up in wedge issues. We get caught up in gay marriage. We get caught up in guns. We get caught up in all these wedge issues that we can't even have a conversation politically. We can't have a conversation locally. Look at the way people vote. People don't even know who the congressmen are. Yet they'll vote. They'll just check a box. red or blue, the red pill or the blue pill. It's outrageous, as Ross Perot said. Which one defends? Which party defends working class? There's only one answer. There's only ever been one answer. Raising the minimum wage, is that the answer? No, that's the freaking like giving a Band-Aid to an AML leukemia patient. That's like eating a potassium iodine pill. It's going to do nothing. Tariffs. But where does that come from? Until every single one of us in the United States can look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, I refuse to be a slave owner. I'm not a plantation owner. I refuse. Foxconn putting nets around their freaking buildings so that the Apple guys making the phones can't jump to their death. I jumped to my fucking death too. 37 cents an hour, and that's wage inflation. So they've moved to Indonesia now where slavery is legal. We all participate. I remember when Walmart freaking back in the day was Sam Walton would roll on his grave. They all would. Everyone would. I remember when we went after Kathy Lee Gifford for using sweatshops. I remember when we went after Nike. That wasn't that long ago. Not now. Not now. We've all bought it in. We drank the Kool-Aid, lock, stock, and barrel with nuclearism and science fiction economics. Lock, stock, barrel to our own deaths. Till we will kill ourselves. We will mow ourselves down in the prime of our lives in our own dogma snuggies. Not me. I'm not climbing on the fucking boxcar, and I'm not taking the fucking shower. I'm not going to do it. Am I going to try to negotiate these guys that have a gun to my head? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to use every trick I've got. I'll use my art. I'll use my creativity. I'll use my sexuality. I'll use my strength. I'll use my knowledge. I'll use every single tool I got in a creative way to try to make these monsters understand. Because we can't beat them. We're outgunned. The military industrialized complex can drop a gnat from outer space down your freaking vent pipe. We have to change them from within. Dorothy Day. We need a revolution of the heart. We need to become a moral people, not sexuality. I'm not talking about sexuality. That's your own damn business what you do with that, as long as you're over 18. I'm talking about usury. I'm talking about enslaving other people. Oh, look at these. I got these brown people, hungry people from the South mowing my lawn. Look at me. Oh, they cook my food. Look at me. My hair's as fat as I ride on a tractor. I'm a farmer. I've never seen a freaking hold a piece of dirt in my life. Do we export anything? Hell no, we don't export nothing. Oh, well, that was the gig. Remember, well, they'll buy up our goods. What the fuck is it they're going to buy? What do we do here? What do we make here? What are they going to buy? Oh, yeah, we do export one thing. And import, I forgot, nuclear waste. They'll buy our nuclear waste. Yeah, Hillary Clinton's last duty is Secretary of State. Look it up. Now think about this. She's in Czechoslovakia in public threatening the president of Czechoslovakia because he's awarded his contract to build their new nuclear reactor to the Russian company or the French company. Russia got it. You will break that contract and give it to Westinghouse. She's using the word Westinghouse over and over and over. Now, who bought Westinghouse? Not very long ago. Oh, the ongoing deal because you shareholders were asleep because you can't even read your 401k. Ah, Toshiba. Who's Toshiba? Oh, TEPCO. Oh, I'm starting to get it. Oh, now when a company buys another company, who retains the corporate board and the corporate structure? The parent company that buys the bigger company, Toshiba. Oh, what do you mean Westinghouse still on the board? What do you mean Westinghouse? I pledge allegiance to the United States of Westinghouse. White 12, right behind my house. Western Zirconium. All of these criminals. They're criminals. Gorbachev, the greatest anti-nuclear activist in the history of the world. That's him. Him and Reagan. Watch Richard Rhodes play. Reagan, he says, well, if Reagan, we're going to go this far when they find an option, let's just do it. Let's just get rid of it all. Reagan said, okay, because the astrologer told him so. He was going to do it. His aide grabbed his arm and stopped him from signing. He says, we'll come back tomorrow. They had, two aides had hold of his hand. Wouldn't let him. Gorbachev's wife died of amyloid leukemia, by the way, post-Fukushima. That's 580,000 men entombed Fukushima. I think over half of them are already dead. We could have entombed. Oh, yeah. The Navy and the Marines, they wanted the keys to Fukushima. But to send a massive operation in would be the death blow to nuclearism. The marine biology departments along California, we're going to test the kelp, San Diego State, University of Washington, Cal Berkeley, all of them, they have the data. But the data's not good. I have whistleblowers inside Berkeley. I love it how the whistleblower came to me and I put out there and wanted monitoring information, which they hid until they were collecting all the time. Then, 2 weeks later, boom, there it appears. It's amazing. It's amazing how, when they're pinned down, they come forward. California tourism economy. California tourism economy. When I was down there at Pacific Beach, little girls going out and picking up the kelp, the trees, the debris that floats all day, every day from the ocean. You know, writing names on the beach. That's what children do. That's what people do. That's what tourism do. They go to that beautiful, incredible beach. Why wouldn't you? Pacific Beach, Huntington Beach, Via Beach, they're spectacular. San Onofre, got to be the most beautiful freaking beach in North America, maybe in the world. Let's build a nuclear reactor up there. People don't even know what it is. Oh, what's right there? Oh yeah, Camp Pendleton, the Marines. Whoa, what a price they paid. The Atomic Marines, my father, I've been ahead of the Atomic veterans for freaking decades. They should tell the story about them marching them unit guinea pig, cutting their tonsils out, giving them LSD, killing them all. They all died of leukemia. I knew Leonard Byrd, by the way, holding paper cranes. He was the oldest one, last man standing alive. His wolf spirit. My father, he made it a long time, but he went. Semper Fi, those Marines were. They took their very best men, their most honorable men. I used to tell that story. People say, look at me like I had 3 eyeballs. Just like they look at me now when I talk about Fukushima's ongoing. All these scientists in this current media want to say, like it was an event that happened then. And now we're talking about the plume from then. Fukushima's ongoing. They've done nothing. Yeah, they got a wall. They're trying to catch it. Yeah. How long did it take them to build that wall? Frozen wall. Frozen. What a fucking joke. It's been leaching into the ocean the entire time, from wood holes. What a rat he's turned out to be. What a fraud he's turned out to be. John Goffman wrote about it in Poison Power, which I knew him personally. The famous professor from Berkeley. Oh yeah, look what they did to him. Look what they did to Oppenheimer. He became hardcore anti-nuclear, the man who invented it. Oh, he's a communist. Look what they did to Einstein. People want to grandstand Einstein, all this and that and the other thing. The most powerful force on earth is compound. He wasn't talking about your bank account. He was so hardcore anti-nuclear, it was unbelievable. You know what they did to him at the end of his life? I mean, he was destroyed. People want to grandstand him. They don't even understand him, the nuclear theater. Look what they did to Martin Luther King. Look what they did to John Kennedy. The non-proliferation, the anti-open air treaty ban. 1963, July 26th, national television. I think is the greatest speech he ever gave. Watch it. It's on YouTube at the end. He talks about radiation poisoning. He talks about leukemia. We knew then. Rachel Carson. Oh, did she know? And if you don't think one person can make a difference, do you think anybody listened to Rachel Carson for years? They laughed at her. They scoffed at her. The greatest environmentalist in history? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look what they did to her. You know, when I got sick, there's a lot of very smart people out there. But Kevin, you're going to be the modern day Rachel Carson. Like, oh no, there will never be no replacement for that brilliant woman. Oh no, I couldn't freaking be 1/10 of her. And by the way, I don't need to die to be a martyr. I'm going to live. I'm going to show the path to live, and I'm going to show people's children how to live. Fresh vegetables. You're not going to take a pill, you baby boomers. You want a pill for everything. Do you have erectile dysfunction? Here's a pill. I'm fat and obese. Here, take a pill. Let's go have some bypass surgery. Let's get a lap band. Let's what was fin? And then we could sue later. Let's get rich from being obese and lazy and fucking fat. Go for it. That's what fucking marine biology department, names and titles. Work? We don't fucking work anymore. We don't do anything. Anybody who tries to work. Construction workers? Oh, fuck that. We're going to bring in 97 fucking hungry people from the South that we disenfranchised farmers from Mexico, and we're going to exploit them. I fell off the roof and broke my back right over here. Yeah, when they did that, very fast with the Hawking trial. 10,000 freaking jobs. I could keep up with 5 or 6, but when I had to start competing with 15 or 20, I started taking chances, and I fell. I broke my back. There's no pills. There's no easy solutions. You have to walk. You have to stay strong. And don't be a maniac about this. Justice in moderation. Moderation. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. We have the availability. There's plenty of juice right here at our market. 2 for $3 they have this time of year because I'm friends with the manager. And he is a responsible produce guy. He's like, it's that time of year. It's the winter. We know we really need to bolster. So they don't have to do that. So he discounts all their fresh juices. You know, there's plenty of good companies that make them around inside greenhouses. You know, I drink a lot of carrot juice, and people say, oh, and I eat organic bananas. And people, you know, say, oh, you can't do that. It's one of the most sprayed crops. What the fuck ain't sprayed? And it doesn't matter about organic now because the nuclear fallout's in the atmosphere. The marine layer rolls in. And the people in California are so dogmatic and so arrogant and so tied and hinged to their real estate values. Oh, look at me, honey. In San Francisco, we paid how much for our house? Oh, I hope it's worth $1 billion one day. Look at us. Asset class. Don't fucking keep that risk rate, that interest rate at 0. Keep the unemployment rate at 30%. Keep buying those slave goods because we're usury and we love our house. Oh my God, this nuclear, is it real? Our neighbor died of cancer. My brother died of cancer. My child died of cancer. My friend died of fucking cancer. Oh, brain cancer, pancreatic cancer, fucking liver cancer, fucking breast. Oh, I had my breast cut out. I had my prostate cut out. But, I'm worried now because, honey, I think our real estate houses are going to fall. Oh, I'm fucking Jerry Moonbeam Brown, the phony as fuck. Yeah, I'm worried now. I'm really worried now because my real estate values might fucking fall. And my pyramid scheme that I fucking built on my fucking over-mortgaged fucking house that I've mortgaged 97 fucking times. And I'm a marine biologist. I'm a provost at the university. I'm a professor in environmental studies at Berkeley, at San Diego State, in La Jolla, that I do fucking nothing. Oh, I'm going to get exposed for the fraud that I am. I don't know a radioisotope from a spent fuel rod. Yet I teach environmentally. I'm a quantum physicist, I say. I'm going to test the fucking kelp. But I don't even know how to test the fucking kelp. Oh, let's go fucking rent the SS Minnow and fucking take a 3-hour tour. By the way, the professor died recently. Yeah, the professor died. What professor? Huh? What are you talking about, Kevin? Oh, from Gilligan's Island. Yeah. Fuck. I'm a professor, but not really, but I play one on fucking a university campus. PhD, peer review. What a fucking joke. I remember when professors used to fucking lead. PhDs came from not a piece of fucking paper and a peer review. A lot of PhDs, by the way, didn't officially have PhD. Dr. King, did he get one from a peer review at Harvard? Oh, fuck no. Was he a PhD? Oh, fuck yes. One of the greatest PhDs in fucking history. His brilliant fucking soul. He didn't want to do what he was fucking doing. He didn't want him. They picked him and said, hey, we have to have you. He knew that it would cost him his life. He knew. Right there in Tennessee again. It all comes back to fucking Knoxville, Tennessee. Megan Rice will be written about for fucking hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. The giant story. She murdered herself. They're trying to squirm out that prosecutor. I was in that courtroom. I sat right there and listened to him. Wow. Disingenuous? Wow. We know who's disingenuous. The military-industrial complex and their fucking FF. She's trying to fucking call attention to they're breaking the law. They're still making more and more. They just tested some. Their new round of nuclear bombs. When we signed the non-proliferation contract to get rid of them, and we signed it. All you phonies that say, oh, Reagan, by the way, Reagan was a fucking blue Democrat from California. You know, he would be considered a raving lunatic liberal in this fucking day and age. We need everybody like Reagan. Yeah, maybe go to the astrologer, but he did have some things right. He and Nancy. He was anti-nuclear. See on the pier on Valentine's Day, we'll set up our will of misfortune, where some can win and all can lose nuclearism. Stay tuned.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Boomgate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call